Hi, I'm Bryce Jones and welcome to iMining's weekly tech update. In this week's update, the new Glowworm attack recovers audio from devices' power LEDs. Apple says it will refuse government demands to expand photo scanning to discover child sexual abuse material, and SpaceX acquires Swarm, which is a Nano Satellite Startup for low-cost connectivity. Let's start with some interesting cybersecurity findings. Researchers from BGU discovered a new way to spy on electronic communications. Glowworm is a passive form of the Tempest attack that converts tiny fluctuations in power LEDs on USB hubs and speakers back into audio signals. The Cyber at BGU team analyzed a broad array of widely used consumer devices, including smart speakers, simple PC speakers, and USB hubs. The team found that power indicator LEDs on devices were affected perceptibly by audio signals sent through the attached speakers. While the naked eye does not easily see fluctuations in the strength of the LED signals, they are strong enough to be read using a photodiode with an optical telescope. The slight flickering caused by changes in voltage when the speakers consume electronic current is converted into an electronic signal by the photodiode. The electronic signal can then be run through an analog digital converter and played back directly. The most vital features of the Glowworm attack are its novelty and its passivity. Since the approach requires absolutely no active signaling, it would be immune to any sort of electronic countersweep. On the manufacturer's side, defeating Glowworm leakage would also be relatively uncomplicated. Rather than directly coupling a device's LEDs to the power line, the LED might be coupled via an operational amplifier or GPIO port of an integrated microcontroller. Alternatively, relatively low-powered devices could dampen power supply fluctuations by connecting a capacitor parallel to the LED, acting as a low-pass filter. Let's move on to some digital privacy-related news. Apple declared that it will not comply with any government demand to expand its new photo scanning technology beyond its current use to detect child sexual abuse material. Apple was criticized for its plan to have iPhones and other Apple products scan photos before uploading them into iCloud. This plan has been criticized by privacy advocates, security professionals, and privacy-minded consumers. Many critics pointed to the fact that Apple will be able to expand its technology beyond the detection and monitoring of child sexual abuse in response to government requests for greater surveillance. Governments have pressured Apple for years to add backdoors to its end-to-end encryption system. Apple also acknowledged that governments might make the exact demands privacy advocates and security professionals have warned about. Apple seems to have not expected the amount of criticism it would face for scanning user photos. On Thursday night, Apple issued an internal memo, acknowledged the criticism, but dismissed it as, quote, screeching voices from the minority. Over 6,000 people signed an open letter urging Apple to reverse course, saying that Apple's current path threatens to undermine decades of work by technologists, academics, and policy advocates towards strong privacy-preserving measures being the norm across the majority of consumer electronic devices and use cases. Johns Hopkins University professor of cryptography, Matthew Green, is also mentioned in the letter, saying the pressure is going to come from the UK, from the US, from India, from China. I'm terrified about what that's going to look like. Why would Apple want to tell the world, hey, we've got this tool? In other news, SpaceX might be preparing to augment Starlink through a new acquisition. Last week, the company told the FCC it was buying Swarm, a California startup that's been working to provide low-cost internet connectivity through small orbiting nanosatellites. SpaceX wrote in the application that the proposed transaction will serve the public interest by strengthening the combined company's ability to provide innovative satellite services that reach the underserved and unserved parts of the world. Like SpaceX's Starlink, Swarm has been working to provide satellite-based Wi-Fi connectivity to rural and remote areas of the world. The startup is primarily focused on providing internet connectivity to IoT devices such as equipment that connects to farms, oil platforms, and energy grids. Swarm's own fleet of satellites are quite small, weighing in at 0.8 pounds, and currently has 150 such satellites in orbit. However, the company's satellite technology is merely designed to relay small packets of internet data to IoT devices for sensors, GPS, and other tracking purposes. That's all for this week. Hit the like button on the video and subscribe to our channel to ensure you don't miss any of the latest tech updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.